Hey, this is Mike Chitatis with TriMaster Swimming and Barry's Coaching in Louisville, Kentucky. Have you ever found yourself maybe struggling to get started or even like restarted in a training plan or a training program? Well, I heard a pretty interesting analogy recently, and I wanted to just share that with you about maybe kind of like the psychology of what's going on when you're kind of having difficulty getting restarted or started into a program. First and foremost, we've got some folks that we coach they're going to the Rocket Man Florida Triathlon, which is it's in Florida, and the course literally goes through the Kennedy Space Center. So where they launch rockets and the space shuttle and all this kind of stuff, which is that reason is kind of what inspired me to share this video with you today. So first and foremost, we wish you guys the best of luck. Have fun, have a blast, and we'll see you when you get back. And then second of all, as this relates to getting a program or getting your routine started, I want to talk about two concepts that I heard, and that is, the first is what's called habit gravity, and the second is what's called escape velocity. So you might be able to see where I'm going with this already with, the rocket launches and so forth. So when they launch a rocket, or the space shuttle is launching, okay, it requires a tremendous amount of energy to break the Earth's gravitational pull. I've heard, like somewhere around like 80% of the fuel that is used, during a launch is used like in the first couple of minutes, just to be able to break the gravitational pull of the Earth, so that shuttle can get up there into orbit, and then it can stay up there orbiting the Earth like almost like with no energy expenditure whatsoever, right? So the same goes for getting a routine or a program started, right? Now, let me know if this sounds familiar, because this has totally happened to me. And here's the analogy. Okay, when you're first getting started, there's like this, and if you can imagine a curve here, we're gonna do kind of a, if you could draw this on a sheet of paper, this curve is gonna curve up, and then it's gonna curve down, and then eventually it's gonna curve up and away. Okay, so keep that in mind. We're talking about approximately a 6-week to 60-day process. Okay, so initially when you're just getting started, there's kind of some excitement, probably in those first couple of days, right? So the first 2-3 days, you've signed up for that race. It's easy to get to the gym. It's easy to get on the bike. It's easy to go for a run. It's easy to get yourself to the pool at 5:30 in the morning or something like that, right? And then something happens. We start to feel sometimes a decline in our motivation, or kind of energy to get us to get going, right? So this kind of happens like within the first couple of weeks. We get really excited for a couple of days, and then something happens. We kind of lose a little bit of momentum, and that has a lot to do with maybe the habits we've created before getting started. So you've got habits, you've got a routine that you're already into, and those start to pull you back. After that initial excitement, those habits, that old routine starts to kind of pull you back. They have their own gravity. That's that habit gravity that kind of pulls you backwards. Okay? Then, just like the space shuttle, what we need to do is utilize a tremendous amount of fuel. If the goal is to move past that, a tremendous amount of fuel to break through that. So this is what you might refer to as just flat out willpower. Okay, just pure willpower. You've just got to gut it out and start creating new habits, a new routine. So it's got to start to become normal for you to wake up at 5:30 in the morning to get to the pool. It's got to start to become normal that you go for a run, after you leave the office at the end of the day. Okay, but that takes a lot of mental fortitude and willpower to kind of break through that. And this is really like that first 30 to maybe 45 days. It might even be just a couple of weeks where it requires like just pure guts and willpower to get through that. What I've seen in the pool time and time again is people learning to swim is it's like a 6-week process. Magically, something happens around week number 6. Okay, it's like, and folks always tell me, man, it's just something clicked. I don't know what it was. And that was just the consistency. You know, I always prescribe 3 to 4 swims, 20 to 30 minutes for the first 6 weeks. You know, just you got to get in that routine and something will happen. That's that momentum. So at that point, you're starting to gain that escape velocity. You're starting to gain momentum back and climb through that gravitational pull. And now you're in a new habit. So, and then to take it one last step further, you've got that habit gravity kind of comes back. You know, we've got a new routine, new habits, and now you've got that gravitational pull, just it's pulling you and you can't break that new routine, right? We see this happen with our Ironman triathletes. I mean, it just becomes, you know, they experience workouts or maybe even within a race where they just feel like unstoppable, right? That's called momentum. That's a new kind of gravity happening there, right? So thanks for listening and watching. I know this was a long one, but I heard this concept and I thought it was great. It was perfect timing for our time of year because we're in the off season and it's time to start maybe re-engaging and get started again. So just understand kind of the psychology of what happens, you know, behind getting started again. So hope that helps. Appreciate you watching. Feel free anytime if you like this tip to visit the blog, which is tryswimmingblog.com, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.